Chelsea Clinton speaking today about the Clinton Foundation going forward. This has new allegations about really tens of millions of dollars in funding for the Clinton Foundation coming from foreign governments while Mrs. Clinton is Secretary of State, and also big ticket speeches to former President Clinton. The New York Times had a 4,000-word piece done by Pulitzer Prize winning reporter Jo Becker. She spent months investigating this deal before this latest book, Clinton Cash, and it lays an interesting story that we talked about in this piece about uranium and a company in Kazakhstan. We should point out on this Kazakhstan piece that those donations from the company that was created from this deal in Kazakhstan on uranium mining, those donations were not reported. The only reason they came to light is because there were Canadian tax records that were unearthed.
It's hard to know where to start with this. They go unreported, and then you hear the principal who donates the money saying that he really was interested in the charitable objectives of the Clinton Foundation, when it is obvious to anybody who's over 9 years old that you take the President of the United States, ex-president, on a plane, you go to Kazakhstan, he praises one of the more infamous dictators in the region at a time when he needs that kind of validation. A few days later, this small company, which is sort of unknown, a shell company, gets a huge concession, and then there's a donation, and then there's a speech that he can pocket. Whereas the donations, you know, what did you report the other day? Something like $70 million the foundation has spent on transportation. I mean, what does it take? I mean, that's really flying pretty high. So in a sense, it's a piggy bank for the Clintons under the guise of a charity. But what strikes me about all this is the unbelievable arrogance of the Clintons, who do this in the full expectations they're going to get away with it. They burn the tapes, they eliminate the emails. Yes, you might not have had a direct quid pro quo in the emails, but there might have been hints of things going on that would support other evidence, and now it has disappeared, it's gone. And you do all this knowing you're walking the line. You know, you may not be able to prove an actual quid pro quo, which is what you'd need for a criminal prosecution, but you come really close to that line. But they think in the end they're going to get away with it. This comes out in April of this year, and by next year, you know what they're going to say? Old news. We have dealt with this.
Which is what some organizations are already saying about this, that it won't have an impact. I do want to